And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California. It is another beautiful day out there. I hope you are getting ready for some time for fun and family and relaxation. Thanksgiving is upon us, and shoot it to you guys straight here, give you exactly what my thoughts are on the markets, as we did just have the the Fed minutes were released, and notable takeaways. The Fed basically said, and I'm going to pull up the dollar here because the dollar reacted actually before, about 30 minutes before the Fed meeting, the dollar started to sell off and kind of broke the bottom side of the range, which I was expecting a bit of a bounce. That is going to be your 618, not 0.5 fib on the, I believe, 4-hour time frame. Yep. So we pretty much shattered that and came back to the bottom side of the range. It's looking pretty weak here. It looks like dollar wants to come down a bit more. Strong rejection there. What did we say on the monthly time frame? Perhaps that the dollar had monthly bearish divergence. And this would line up with a little bit of a rally going over the next week as the stock market reacted positive. So dollar down, risk on assets are popping here today. And it looks like, if the NASDAQ has any kind of a daily closure, above this wick, looks like it's going to come test this trend line here at the top side of this falling channel. If we do fall back in here, which it looks like we did yesterday almost, didn't quite confirm the high. Long story short, as the dollar goes down, risk assets go up, and same thing with the S&P, running into the 200, the top side of the channel is, right at this pretty much level. So I would expect some selling pressure in that region, if anything. And then the Dow Jones popping up strong, 1.5% today, leading the pack. Wow. Almost back to 35,628. I wonder what led that rally. That was a big pop there on the Dow Jones. So this is, more on the bullish side, and, any kind of a closure really, we said, we didn't expect these highs to get taken out. And if this does confirm as a high and a bit of a bull trap, which who knows, we could rally going into the CPI report, which is coming up on the 13th. So write that one down, December 13th, CPI, 5:30 a.m. And then the next big meeting is the 15th, the FOMC meeting, where they are pricing in a 50% rate hike, I think with a 70% chance right now. So it looks like they're going to go 50 basis points. And I believe that's what they said they're going to do, right? They said 3 75 basis point rate hikes, and 50 likely to come in December, call it the beginning of the taper. What else did they say is that the terminal rate, this is another important one and why the markets reacted bullish today. Terminal rate is expected to, on an annual basis, be down from 5.24 to 5.15. So, if terminal rates were going up, that would have been bullish for the dollar and bearish for assets. We said keep an eye on that. So that's something I am, if interest rates do hang out at 5% for 2 years, expect some havoc in the markets. And I would expect this is the last unloading of some major corporations dumping their Christmas bonuses right here. And yeah, as long as the dollar is okay, what would line up more with the Christmas rally is the dollar coming down to this target at 101, which is going to be valid. And, monthly Stokes are crossed down, getting kicked out of the bullish control zone. Do we snap back on the first 7 days and get a little backfill first? Very similar to, I'll show you the 6-month time frame on the S&P, which, bearish engulfing candle, that typically follows or begets continuation to the downside. And, but it did pop back up, did a little backfill, tested this area, and 6-month candle. Yeah, the next 6 months for next year are going to be really telling what actually happens. And most consensus across the board, even Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, they're coming out with, saying perhaps stocks have another 20% downside, which isn't very far from where we're at right now. 20% downside, 24% would get us to the yellow 21 on the S&P. And, Dow Jones really putting it in. I mean, if it goes down 20%, that's nothing from here. So as they physically tighten, right, and unload their balance sheet and continue to raise rates, that's the environment we are in. Risk assets typically will take a hit, and I would say this is, some signaling that potential bottom could be forming, but I sincerely think the worst is yet to come when it comes to risk assets. And okay, so bringing it on to Bitcoin, and what are the potentials for a shot up to this 21, which we've been talking about this signal for some time now, the 2-day volatility signal. And just following up on that, we said, hey, look, the expansion off the lows, price is likely to go in the direction of the trend. The average move on the 2-day time frame, I think it's about 35%. We got, and keeping in mind, that's an average, right? We got 27%. So, would you say the move has played out? Well, as soon as we lose the exponential on the 2-day time frame and this comes back down, well, that would give me the inkling that likely the move is played out. Additionally, if we do close anywhere here or higher, you're going to have some bullish divergence. Price is making a lower low and RSI is making a higher low. How many drives would we have potentially? And where would a mean reversion bounce likely come into? And this 2-day will not close for another 2 days. So 1 day and 4 hours are going to be pretty important. Additionally, the 3-day, I just saw this, a very similar price action. Anywhere above, any kind of a daily closure back above 16.8 very likely gets us a bounce up to that 17.5 area. And for me, this is kind of a no trade zone. I'm looking to play the trend, right? It looks like most of this trade has played out. And we're going to be looking for the next lower high. Additionally, daily Stokes have crossed up. And we've got a volatility reset. And you're going to have one slight drive of hidden bullish divergence. Yeah, you're going to have a couple drives coming back from this pivot right here. Let's see here. So what we're looking for is lower lows in price and higher lows in RSI. So actually, if I just put this trend line right here, you can see 1, 2, 3. This would be the 4th one. And where does a bounce typically get you? I'd say the green 55 off of something like that. So this is all, not confirmed today. We got to close in 3 hours and 38 minutes. And I would invalidate that move. Gosh. If we close the day anywhere below 16.1, 4-hour time frame below 16.1 as well, probably going to flip conditions on back down to the downside, and that'll bleed in to some of the higher term time frames, and maybe we get another leg on this 5-day volatility signature, which again, just a tick above 17,000, likely going to get you a move up to about 17.5, 17.8, and maybe even higher. We still got 5-day Stokes crossed down below 18.3. So, pressure will remain to the downside as long as the 5-day Stokes are down. No, but again, I don't think it's going to take a lot for this to cross back up on the weekly time frame. above 16,861. So very kind of in the middle of the road markets right now. And yeah, it's kind of lower, higher, not on the 4-hour time frame. Bit of a tricky market, you know, a lot of volatility today with the dollar index, but you know, is this the lower, higher, not on the 4-hour? Technically, you know, it looked like it to me, it was confirmed, and then we got kind of a bit of a reversal candle here. So again, you know, above even, let's see, on a 4-hour above 16.8. Now, really, I'd want to see it above 17.1 on a 4-hour time frame, and that'll look good for continuation up to even as high as that purple 200 right there at 17.9. And just looking at the fibs real quick. So, you know, weak bounces come up to the 382, and we pretty much got that, right? Came back down to the bottom side of the range, and now are we going to mount another assault at the 382 at 17.8? That's the question. Or are we going to slinky on back down? The other concern here with Bitcoin is the dollar popped, stocks popped, and, excuse me, the dollar went down, right? The dollar came down strong, and we did not see a real liftoff on Bitcoin. You know, it seems like it's been a bit of a lagger behind stocks, and the dollar coming down, I think, would be the one thing kind of keeping Bitcoin up by a thread. I think that's going to be it out for me today. Same thing on Ethereum. You know, 4-hour back above $1,200. You know, going to look good for a bullish move. Run back at 1,300. And then, you know, 4-hour below, call it 1120, going to revisit the bottom side of the range and perhaps lower. What other one I wanted to check out here? That's it for, and the 2-day Stokes. Notice we got a tick above there, you know, probably looking for a run at least up to 1222. If this does not fail, you know, right now, 3-day is well. You'll see the 3-day is going to close here. So any kind of a closure back above $1,200 is likely going to get you a move all the way up to 1273. So that's it for Mr. Ethereum. I will be bringing you some more updates coming next week. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. And again, this type of market, you know, we're still in a bear market. I'm looking to go with the trend and play the downside moves until the weekly trend reversal happens. We're making higher lows and higher highs on a weekly time frame. I will not be, you know, pretty much ready to call a macro reversal. All right. Thanks, and have yourself a blessed day and a good weekend. Happy Thanksgiving.